Live, this is South Florida Today on NBC 6 HD.
In most homes, turkey is traditionally served from Thanksgiving right through the new year. So to combat the turkey blues, Barb Freda, who's chef and food editor for Florida Table Magazine, is here to teach us how to prepare 4 beef dishes that can be incorporated into your holiday menu. Welcome.
Hi, thank you very much. We are talking about turkey fatigue, especially with Thanksgiving having been so recent. It seems all compressed, and a lot of people don't want to think about putting another turkey on their table. So in my family, we sort of do a 180 and start talking about beef. And happily, I have found a lean beef product. This is Laura's Lean Beef, and they make all sorts of cuts for it. I happen to do something that we've been doing in my house for a long time, thank you, which is a beef Wellington.
Okay.
Traditionally, the beef Wellington has been a big tenderloin of beef, and we trim it up, cover it with a mushroom pate, which I'm going to tell people how to make in a few minutes.
Okay.
Cover that with a big sheet of puff pastry, bake it all at once, and in my house, no one was ever happy. We had people who wanted well done, people who wanted rare, and the roast comes out, you know, at once. And like I said, my mom was taking the steaks to the microwave, zapping it, killing me, right?
Killing the meat.
So from there I went to individual little filet mignons. Still great, wrapped in puff pastry and maybe a little rich for people. I have come up with sort of a twist on the whole process. It's 3 components. I'm using, instead of the filet mignon, boneless sirloin strip steak that I cook individually so everybody gets well, medium rare, as they want.
Okay.
I top it with this mushroom pate, which is nothing but white mushrooms cooked with a little bit of, tiny bit of butter, okay? Salt, pepper.
So there's no beef in here at all?
No beef in here, but this is going to enhance the flavor of the beef enormously. It just really complements the flavor of the beef. I process it in a food processor until it's paste, cook it until all the liquid is gone, hit it with a tiny bit of sherry as well, again, to really enhance the flavor. That will go on top of the beef, and one thing I do is make the puff pastry separately now. No more wrapping, makes it a little bit easier. You can buy puff pastry in the freezer section. Easy to work with, let it thaw. Use a pizza cutter for this, right? We got nice straight cuts, and roughly I'm going to cut to the size of the steaks. You'll see my steaks are a little smaller. I do try to give people 4-ounce portions. With this particular product,
that's actually what's recommended by the American Heart Association.
And this lean beef, 9 grams of fat or less per serving. So it's fabulous if you're going for something. It's a treat, but it's still really healthy for you.
Right.
This this is my little trick, and this is a little soft, so I might not get a cut of a holly leaf out, and this is how I've been decorating my beef Wellington for years. This is a biscuit cutter, a tiny little biscuit cutter. I keep cutting, and again, this is a little soft under these lights, so it's a lopsided holly leaf. Nobody will mind in my house.
Yep.
Even put a little berry there. All right. Don't forget the egg wash. This is, you know, I tell people sometimes this is the restaurant trick. This is what gets you the beautiful brown color. This goes into the oven at 425 degrees and puffs up beautifully. I'm going to show you finished product. Puffs up beautifully in about 4 or 5 minutes, like I said, and this is how it looks.
Beautiful.
Individuals, okay? What you do now is the 3 components. I've got the steaks done separately. I'm going to take those out of the oven.
Right out of our warm
Little
General
bit hot.
Electric oven.
Yes, not too hot. The beauty of this is you could do these components ahead of time, except for the steak. I could have done this the day before. I could have done the puff pastry the day before. Warm up the puff pastry a little bit, because cold puff pastry, not anybody's cup of tea, really. Okay, so we're going to take the steak.
All right, we're going to assemble now.
Yes.
We have about 2 minutes.
This is the component part. We'll do 4. Each one gets a little bit of mushroom topping. In my kitchen, I use my hands. All right?
Sure.
My family knows. Mushroom pate. This is delicious again. There's 4. And then these are the pre-baked, beautiful. You can see the little holly leaf. It came out pretty on that one. These are roughly the size of the steaks. I try to match them up as best I can. It's an inexact science again in my house, but we love it. And that's what you serve on your Christmas table, your celebration table. It's a real celebratory dish, not turkey. The one thing I like to talk about too is that sometimes we get rich food fatigue right around now.
Yes, indeed.
If people want to take that puff pastry off, they can be satisfied knowing they're eating a lean steak and mushrooms. That's it. So it's a protein and a vegetable. It's a beautiful dinner that everybody at your table will be happy with. I also can turn this into a beautiful hors d'oeuvre for a party. These are fabulous, easy to use, store-bought phyllo dough cups. I've filled them with the mushroom, topped it with, all of the rest are topped. I've topped it with a little bit of beef. You can warm these or you can serve them close to room temperature. Don't let it sit out too long. Maybe top it with a little bit of parsley, thyme, whatever, and you've got a really elegant hors d'oeuvre for a party.
Looks beautiful.
Really easy to do. The next thing, we also have a lean beef to use.
And we have about a minute now.
Okay. We're going to make empanadas. South Florida, we love our empanadas at the holiday time, of course. I have done small empanadas and sort of what you would expect, a dinner-size empanada. Again, with this, I use a biscuit cutter. I can get 2 rounds out of a standard empanada wrap. These are also in your freezer section. I like to look for something called hojaldrosa, which is gives you a flakier texture. You'll see a couple of different kinds of empanada wraps in the section. This, again, I'm going to have to use a smaller, tiny bit of beef goes into the center of this, because if you put too much here, it will just explode out. And this is another thing that you can either serve at a meal or at a party. Fold these over, pinch really well, or again, you'll get the explosion. Egg wash these just as you did that, because again, that's the trick. This is what's going to make them look beautifully finished. Serve them with a green salsa and a red salsa. Again, a beautiful holiday dinner or party hors d'oeuvre, right? Last thing we have are really simple. Lean beef steak, skewered with red and green peppers, a little bit of red onion just because that's pretty. I serve it on top of the yellow rice. Again, this is something that anybody following any kind of healthy regimen would be happy with. Broil them, grill them, no added fat. You couldn't be happier with a lean beef dinner.
Beautiful presentation. Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
Barb is going to be at the Pembroke Pines Walmart Supercenter today until 4:30 this afternoon.
That's right.
Featuring some of the recipes you've seen here, as well as some other holiday options. The address there is 151 Southwest 184th Avenue. And we will be right back.